Hi Bruins! Welcome to week 2 of spring quarter. My name is Drea Letamendi and I'm a clinical psychologist with Residential Life and the interim director of the Student Resilience Center called RISE. Every week I'm sharing resources, strategies, and tips around well-being and resilience for our UCLA community. Typically, resources and services are available to you on campus, but right now they're physically closed. These videos will provide some resources, strategies, and access to those virtual services that might be available and actually helpful to you. Sometimes it's just a good idea to breathe. Take a deep breath and reflect on how your body's feeling. What happened last week? Did you experience any successes? Did you encounter any barriers or challenges? Draw upon what you learned from week 1 and maybe create one micro step that will help you this week. A micro step is a small thing that you can change during the week. Make sure it's reasonable, make sure you're setting yourself up for success, getting ahead on an assignment, a slight change in your bedtime routine. If you're following the news, you may have heard of the top 5. Over the course of the last week, the top 5 have actually changed. We're now hearing that we should wear masks if we're heading outdoors. We're hearing that we should actually stay indoors as much as possible. In the mental health community, there are also like the top 5 things that we want to think about in order to maintain resilience and stay well during a crisis. So one of those things actually happens to be around self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is our ability to access our internal resources, to utilize external or formal supports in order to achieve our goals. There's a lot of agency involved with self-efficacy, but it also requires some awareness of the self. One way to work on our self-efficacy is to sit down and actually do an exercise around control. Let's first start with listing the things that you know you can't control. Not being able to buy things that you usually could buy, toilet paper, paper towels, Kleenex. Maybe you can't control the way other people in your community are handling the social distancing. Maybe you can't control how your internet connection is. Maybe you can't control the way in which your professor is teaching a certain class. If you're an athlete, you might not be able to practice with your team right now. If you're a senior especially, you may have lost out on certain milestones and events. But the second part of this exercise is focusing on what you can control. What are the things that you do have agency around? You can control your own behavior and the way in which you're following social distancing or physical distancing guidelines. You can control how you actualize your true Bruin values, which include respect, accountability, integrity, service, and excellence. So what would that look like for you? Take a moment to list 5 to 10 things in your life right now that you can control. Even if you have a sense of self-efficacy, sometimes that's not enough. And actually the CDC has outlined 5 different signs of distress that some people might be experiencing during this time of social distancing. And I want to list them here. They include fear and worry about your own health, changes in sleep or eating patterns, difficulty sleeping or concentrating, worsening of chronic health problems, increased use of alcohol, smoking, vaping, and other substances. If you've noticed any changes in at least one of those things, it might be a good idea to call CAPS. You can contact them by calling their number 310-825-0768 or make an appointment by going to counseling.ucla.edu. For more wellness strategies, please go to the RISE Center website, risecenter.ucla.edu. You can also find our posts on Facebook and Instagram under @RiseCenterUCLA and on Twitter @UCLA_RISE. If you have questions about these wellness tips or you want to see certain topics talked about, please message us. Finally, we're all in this together. No matter where you are in the world, you're still a Bruin. Be well.